Hello everyone. So I have this little kit here from Aliexpress. This one I was actually given as a gift at Christmas time, and I thought that today I would put it together and have a little kit video here. It was a very busy week last week, so I didn't have much time to work on the videos. So this little kit here is an SMD practice kit. The nice thing about it though is that it has an actual function at the end that you can see it working and see if you've soldered correctly and what have you. I believe it was called a flowing water kit or something along those lines on Aliexpress. So the majority of the components on this little kit are surface mount. All of the resistors, the capacitors, and the two logic chips. There are some through-hole LEDs, and there is a through-hole potentiometer. But everything else is all surface mount. I do apologize if the exhaust fan is loud. So I think what we'll do is we will start with one of the two chips there, because they're going to be the most interesting. By interesting, I of course mean difficult and fiddly. I think we'll start with the little small chip. So the little small chip here looks like it's a 555 chip. And it looks like the little bar is to show what direction it should be facing, hopefully. Find out shortly here. So I believe it's going to have to be mounted like that. So first I'm going to pick a pad. Just apply a little bit of solder onto it so that we can tack it down. Now the fun part begins. Okay. Just going to quickly check. And yeah, it looks like we have that there. Okay. So now things get more interesting. Going to make sure that it's lined up pretty good on the board here. Now we're going to solder the diagonal pin. There might be a little bit excessive amount of solder on there, but it seemed to do its trick. Well, all of the connections are shiny and all of them are connected, so all in all I think that was a successful chip. Okay, not the prettiest in the world, but honestly that's the first time I've ever soldered a chip on like that, so my first SMD chip done. Sure, there's lots more in my future. Okay. That was the easy one. And again, I'm going to assume that the little line is supposed to line up with the notch on the board. Let's hope. Ideally, of course, you want to get it as evenly between the two sets of pads as you possibly can. So this time I'm just going to try adding a little bit of flux to the pad here, just to see if that helps at all. It's not perfect, but it will do, I hope. So at least now we have some much bigger components. Physically smaller, I guess, but should be a lot easier to work with. 1Ks. Yep. So got all these little 1K resistors to go on there. Since this helped with the other chip, I'm going to give it a little bit of flux on these ones as well. Just pre-prep those so we can get one side of the little tiny resistor stuck down easily. So I highly advise against dropping these little tiny resistors on the floor, because that was a terrible thing. I also highly advise against stabbing yourself with your tweezers like little needles. I think what I'm going to do is attach all of the rest of these so that they can't escape and hide. Most of them are decent. There's a little bit of touch up, but pretty good. It's not, again, not the prettiest in the world, but seems okay. So next up here we're going to do the little 2K resistor. Now the 10K resistor. Now the capacitors. And the last capacitor here. So it's certainly not the prettiest soldering job in the world, but They all seem to be attached. So now we're going to put in the potentiometer here. So just stuck the potentiometer in. I believe it's as far down as it goes. I think I'll use these tweezers to hold it in place so that it can't escape on me. Not quite enough solder on that top pin. So got the potentiometer on there. Those solder joints are far superior to my surface mount solder joints. Now we have the LEDs. Snip off all of the negative pins and hope that that was in the correct direction. So I'm just soldering one of these little, or two of these little bits of wire on here. That's solely so I can have something I can grab with the crocodile clip so that I can attach it to the breadboard power supply easily without having to solder a wire between the two. So now we have a positive and a negative pin. Okay, so there you go. So you can see that the little light flows across there. I assume that's what they mean by flowing water. Let's see what happens when we adjust the potentiometer here. Speeds up. This goes quite fast there. So yeah, that's the little flowing water kit. Very cool. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Tinkering with Terrius. I know it wasn't as interesting as it could have been. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you want to share it, feel free. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the section below. Otherwise, you can email them to me or tweet them to me. If you enjoy my videos, please consider subscribing to my channel. You should be able to subscribe by clicking on the gears in the middle of the screen here. If you want to see more of my videos, there should be a couple of them showing up on the screen here now as well. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.